Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Polo. Hope you're doing well. And today we're jumping into a documentary review of the film Am I Racist?, the newest installment by Matt Walsh. Let me start by saying I appreciate a documentary that makes me question things or see the world differently. Now, for those of you who haven't seen it or don't know what it's about, we'll not be giving away any spoilers, but I'll give you a brief review of my take on it. Am I Racist? Dives into the world of identity politics and racial conversations in America. The goal of the film is to challenge the modern narrative around racism, what it means, how it's defined, and how it's used to shape culture and society. Matt sets out to explore whether the way we talk about race today is helping us move forward, or making things worse. It's heavy, no doubt, but it's also filled with moments that'll make you laugh. There's a lot of cringe in this film, and there's a few moments that made me question my own perspective. That said, it's not without its moments. The film is unapologetic, awkwardly hilarious at times, and occasionally so over the top, you can't help but feel secondhand embarrassment.
Share anything?
Sure, what do you want me to share?
Whatever's on your
I
mind.
just want to know that, like, my physical safety and yours and everybody else's here is okay.
Why would your physical safety not be okay? Did I miss something?
I don't feel comfortable.
By the end, I couldn't decide if I had learned something new or if I was just entertained by the sheer audacity of it all. Either way, it left me reflecting on how some of the people in this documentary are willing to stretch reality. And some of them are not just stretching reality, it's a full-on tug of war. Let's break it down. I'll be up front. As I mentioned, I love documentaries that challenge my perspective, but this one, it didn't quite do that. Most of it felt like common sense to me. That said, it's bold, it's entertaining, and it had its sheer moments that made me laugh. I won't deny that. And a few wow factors that were utterly ridiculous. The movie dives deep into what happens when people living in reality and people living in an echo chamber, when they meet. For those, I have a sense of degree of empathy. You know, it seems like they're trying to do the right thing. And the others, it's clear that they are profiting off of this ideology, including Matt Walsh, if I'm being fair. It highlights how divided we've become as a society. You've got families breaking apart, friendships ending, even over this last election, entire communities torn down because of their ideological differences. One moment in the film that truly made me stop and question things was the jaw-dropping fees some of these activists demanded to have a chat with Matt. $15K from one and a staggering $30K from another. One of these individuals, a white woman tackling racism, delivered her insights with all the flair of a TED Talk, if the TED Talk came with VIP pricing and a 2-drink minimum. Despite this, Matt handled the interview with tact, carefully navigating her emotions and opting for gentler questions, likely to avoid her storming off mid-discussion. It's a familiar strategy among those with similar ideologies. Deflect or shut down when faced with genuine pushback. While sensitivity is key in these conversations, it begs the questions: how can we make real progress if meaningful dialogue gets sidelined so easily? You know, it really does make you stop and wonder, when did an open and honest conversation become something with a price tag? Look, I get it. Time is valuable and people deserve to be compensated for their expertise. But there's a point where it starts feeling less like activism and more like a business model. And that's where it gets tricky. If keeping the problem alive is more profitable than solving it, is it still activism, or is it just capitalism with better branding?
All of these.
So inherently.
Yeah.
The entire system has to burn. And I'm not going to even use save this country. This country is not worth saving. This country is a piece of shit.
It's hard not to notice how some people seem more invested in maintaining the narrative than moving the needle. Almost like fear has become a franchise.
For it.
Okay.
It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. I start every day like this. So what you're doing is you're stretching, and this is more for you and less for you. But you're stretching up like this, and you're stretching out. And what you're doing is you're stretching out of your whiteness. Okay, so you're decentering your whiteness. You're stretching out of your whiteness.
All right. And while I'm all for meaningful conversations, you can't help but ask, are we solving problems here, or are we just passing down neatly packaged fear to the next generation like it's some sort of inheritance? And here's where it starts to get deeper for me. We've created a culture where conversations feel transactional. Everything has a cost: time, energy, and even the truth. And when the focus shifts to what's in it for me instead of the actual dialogue, how do we even begin to make progress?
white,
Folks,
White.
trash,
White supremacy.
white woman,
White boy.
white,
entitlement,
White.
centering,
White.
silence.
Is there a black person around here?
So there's a black person right here. Does he not exist?
They gon' say I'm racist.
Now, what the film really drives home is how divided we've become. And everywhere you look, it's left versus right, men versus women, this race versus that race, rich versus poor. It's a constant tug of war. And let's be honest, someone somewhere is benefiting from all this division. Think about it. While we're busy arguing about bathrooms, pronouns, and whatever the latest Twitter drama is, the bigger issue is healthcare, food safety, taxes, and oh yeah, corruption just flying under the radar. What's even scarier is some of the division being stirred by the very people we're supposed to trust. Leaders, educators, and even parts of the media. The people who should be guiding us seem more interested in keeping the chaos alive, and that's exactly what this film explores. Now, don't get me wrong, this movie isn't perfect. It's going to challenge some people, and it might even make others angry. But here's the thing, it makes you think, all right? And honestly, we need more of that right now, less yelling and finger pointing and more honest, thoughtful conversations instead of all the ways that we're divided by race, politics, gender. Here's my full takeaway on it, all right? As long as we keep dividing ourselves by race, by politics, by gender, by whatever, things aren't going to change. Racism and other forms of division are like Pandora's box. Once it's open, you can't shut it. But maybe we can start by focusing on what we have in common instead of what makes us different. So I want to hear from you. Have you seen this movie? What did you think? Did it make you uncomfortable? Did it make you laugh? Let me know in the comments section. And hey, if you haven't seen it yet, would you see it? Why or why not? I personally love different styles of documentaries. This was one I have been waiting to watch for quite some time. And I think that overall, it did its job of being informative and entertaining at the same time, even though a lot of it felt like a mockumentary and was over the top, which typically isn't my style of film. Overall, I think that it was a great job. If you guys like the video and want to see more like this, do me a big favor to help this channel grow. Like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I appreciate your time, as your time is very valuable. Peace.
Yeah! Look what I have created!